Namaste dear learners. In this video session we will discuss the novel called The English Teacher, which is prescribed for BA 4th semester Basic English, Rani Chennamma University, Belagavi. Today we are going to deal with the chapter 2, session 2 of the novel. As you know, the novel is written by R.K. Narayan and I am Basavaraj Bidigi, Assistant Professor of English, GFGC, Yergatti. Chapter 2, Session 2. In the first session of the second chapter, we learnt how Krishna set up the new house, and we also learnt the arrival of about Susila and Leela to Malgudi, and how Krishna was anxious about getting them off the train in the railway station. As well, we learnt how his mother helped Krishna's wife to accumulate or to amalgamate or to adopt to the new place called Malgudi. And in this session, we will learn about the things which happen after Krishna's mother left for the village. Every day, Krishna would return at 4:30 in the evening after completing his college work. And when he reaches Saryu Street, he would look at his home and he would find there Susila waiting for his arrival in the little garden which is situated in front of the house. And Krishna every day would avoid all the interruptions in college, would avoid all his colleagues to reach the home as early as possible, because he did not want to spend much time in the college, and he wants to spend time with his wife and his daughter Leela. That's why he would avoid all the people who would talk to him after completion of college, and he would come early to the home. And when he looks at Susila taking some things in garden and doing this and that in the garden, he would understand that actually Susila is waiting for his arrival. And it was not in his wife's nature to be demonstrative. But Susila was not a demonstrative woman, and she could not express her feelings openly. But Krishna knows that actually she is waiting for his arrival. After reaching home, he would say, I have taken only 20 minutes and already you are out for looking for me. He would say, I have got just 20 minutes to reach the home, but already you are waiting for me outside the home. When she would hear these words, she would become flushed. ಅವಳು ನಾಚಿಕೆಯಿಂದ she would say, no, I didn't come out to look for you, but just to play with the child, Susila would tell. After the child looks at Krishna, the child would come and come up and hug Krishna, and held his knees and held up her hands for my books. Leela would ask her father to hand over her the books which he is carrying in his hand. I gave her the books. He would give her the books, and she would step up in the home and put them on the table. Leela would take the books in his hands and would put into his room. I followed her in. I took off my coat and shirt, picked up his towel and went to the bathroom. Krishna would follow the child and would take off his coat and would take his towels and go to bathroom to take shower. And the child would stretch her arms to asking Krishna to lift up her, but Krishna would lift the baby only after getting a bath. uh, Leela would make different sounds, and she would try to speak, but still she is speaking in monosyllables. But she made up a great deal by her vigorous gesticulations. But Leela was very active, and she would convey the message by her gesticulations. ಅವಳ ಏನು ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅವರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. Leela would go to the bathroom with Krishna to watch him take the bath, and she would become happy when Krishna would bend himself under the tap. ಆ ನಳದ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕುಳಿತಾಗ ಲೀಲಾ ವುಡ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ and start clapping her hands and start dancing by seeing the water. The sight of water thrilled Leela, and she shrieked and plashed some water about the tap. She would go and try to catch the water which is falling on the head of Krishna. I put her safely away from the spray. But Krishna would try to shoo away the child from water, but at the moment when he closes his eyes, again she would come and stand beneath the tap. Already she would have got her dress wet, and he would push away, and she would try to catch the falling water in her little hands. Krishna would say, "A child, keep off water." At this, she would pretend as if she is going out of the bathroom. When Krishna shouts, Leela would pretend as if she is going out of the bathroom, but after the moment he closes his eyes, she once again would return and try catching water. And she would come nearer to Krishna and drenched her dress. And after Krishna learns that Leela is not ready to go away, he would turn off the tap and would take a towel and get himself dried. And after this, he would go to his room and comb his hair, and he says, "I felt this is my religious duty." He would do these things in everyday evening without fail. And he would return. He says, "After I return from college in the evening, I would be exhausted and my dresses will be sagging, and that's the reason why my fingers will be ink stained. That is the reason why I get bath every day in the evening." And he also says, both the daughter and mother looked particularly radiant in the evenings with their hair dressed and be-plawed faces elegantly powered. Krishna says both Leela and Sushila would look radiant because they would have got freshened up before his arrival, and Sushila would put lot of powder on the face of the baby and would put some flowers on the hair of the baby. By the time Krishna Krishna comb his hair, Sushila would come and call him to drink his coffee. ಕಾಫಿಯನ್ನು ಕುಡಿ ಬನ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ಲು. ಅವಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ಲು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ವುಡ್ ಯು ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ ದ ಕಾಫಿ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ cold? She would call him. He would answer, "Yes, yes," and both of them moved off to the dining table, and there was a God's pedestal. ಒಂದು ಏನಿತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗಲಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಆ ಜಗಲಿಯ ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರು. And Sushila every day would stand in front of the God's pedestal and would fold her hands and close her eyes, would pray to the God what she wants. Every day Krishna tried to ask her what she begged in front of the god, but she did not say anything to Krishna all the while. And after that, he Krishna says, my wife every day would stand in front of the god's pedestal and would utter magical words to please the gods. But Sushila did not answer his questions all this while. If he asks what she would pray to the gods. And whenever he cuts a joke, she would make a joke of him and she would call him, you are becoming a yogi. But she did not try to defend herself. Oh, and she all the while would answer Krishna in a jovial manner. There was no indifference between both of them at any point of time. And near the pedestal, there was a perpetual smell of burnt camphor and faded flowers. ಆ ಜಗಲಿಯ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸುಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಕರ್ಪೂರದ ವಾಸನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಒಣಗಿದ ಹೂಗಳು ಇರ್ತಿದ್ವು ಅಂತ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Sushila would place a plank in the dining hall, and which faces the god's pedestal, the shrine, and he would sit on the plank. ಮನಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮನಿ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಮನಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮನಿ. And child would come and sit on his lap. By this, Sushila would bring a little plate in which she would keep some of the eatables, some of the snacks. And whenever she comes and keeps that plate in front of Krishna, he would ask her what it is. ಅದು ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. Then she would say, you have to find out yourself. ನೀನೇ ಗೊರ್ತು ಹಿಡಿ ಅದು ಏನು ಅಂತ ಲೀಲಾ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಕೃಷ್ಣನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ಲು. And then she never answered his questions. All the day, every day she would prepare different snacks. Every day he would ask same question, but she did not answer his questions. Rather, she would ask him to find out what it is all by himself. And after that, Krishna would look at the snacks to learn what it is. And the child which is sitting on the lap of Krishna would put her hands into the plate to snatch the snacks. And when he was eating, Krishna would take a little piece of the snack and would put in the mouth of the little child. But Krishna's wife Sushila protested this. She says, don't make her to eat everything, but because it will spoil her health. Then Krishna would say, just a little, he would say. But Sushila says, it will make her sick. She has been eating all sorts of things lately. Don't blame me if she gets sick. Sushila would say, she is eating all sorts of things nowadays, and if she gets sick, do not blame me, because you who is giving all the eatables to Leela. And Krishna would say, no, a little thing won't do any harm to her health, Krishna would say. And Leela would not stop there only, but she would stretch her hands again to asking him to make her to eat more and more the snacks. Don't worry about her, I won't give her anymore, Krishna would say. When Sushila becomes angry on Krishna, he would say, I will not give her any more, Krishna would say. Do you finished what was on the plate? Sushila would ask Krishna. After eating, Sushila would ask Krishna, have you finished the things which was on your plate? And she would ask him whether he needs more. This was always a most embarrassing question for me. As I hesitated, she asked, "Why is it not good?" Susila would ask Krishna whether he wants some more snacks. At that time, Krishna would become silent, but Susila becomes angry and asks him whether it was not good. Krishna would say, "No, no, no, it was good, but smells rather smoky." ಆದರೆ ಹೊಗೆಯ ವಾಸನೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಆದರೆ ಹೊಗೆ ವಾಸನೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಬಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಇಟ್? But for the smell it would be perfect, she said. It will be perfect, the snacks will be perfect only if it has what? Smell. Susila would depend herself. And I couldn't but agree with her. Krishna would not protest her words but agree whatever she would say. And she says, "He prepared such a large quantity thinking you would like it." She would say, "I have prepared much of the snacks thinking that you would like to eat it more and more." But Krishna eats only one plate and stops it every day. She went in and brought out a little more and pushed it on my plate, and I ate with relish just because she was so desperately eager to get to appreciate her handiwork. Again, Susila would go into the kitchen and bring some more snacks and put in the plate of Krishna, and he would eat as if he is relishing the taste of the snacks because he doesn't want to disappoint Susila for her work. After that, Susila would give him a cup of coffee, and after that, after drinking coffee, both of them would leave the kitchen, and Susila would sit on the threshold of the home looking at the streets, and Krishna would sit in the hall talking about his college, chatting with Susila about his college, his colleagues, and all the things which have happened in the college. He would tell all the things as if he is reporting all the events that have happened in the college every day evening. And Krishna says that Susila knew all the professors who were working with Krishna, even though she did not meet them once in her life, because Krishna would tell all the things which have happened in the college, and Susila would know names of all the colleagues of Krishna and all the subjects of those teachers in the college. And after this, Susila would talk about her neighbors, and she would tell Krishna that our neighbors are good, this neighbor is good, that neighbor is bad, and they quarreled today. She would tell such things to Krishna, and meanwhile the baby would go to her trunk and take all the articles which are there in the trunk, and she would play with those toys. After some time, the child would come crying, so that the mother would carry her. And after this, when Leela comes, Krishna would console the baby, and Susila would prepare the dinner. And after some time, before all the while when Susila puts the cook, Krishna would look after the child, and after the completion of the food, both of them would sit once again in front of the god's shrine and eat their dinner and go to sleep. Thank you very much. This is where the second session of chapter 2 ends. We will discuss the things what happens in the next part of the novel. Thank you very much.